Hello, this is just a quick video about how to annotate articles of the week. In your annotation packet, you will find this annotation sheet in there. And these are kind of the markings that you would do on an annotation. This asterisk, you can do just a regular star on there. It stands for a star. When you do an annotation, you don't necessarily have to have all of these things in your annotation. It's just some things to help guide you in what kind of things you would be looking for. So you're kind of looking for some main ideas. Write down any questions you have, any statements in the article that you agree with, any statements you disagree with, anything that is surprising or shocking. Anything you feel is very powerful, written really cool, you would underline, and then you would circle anything unfamiliar or any passages that are unfamiliar. When you do an article of the week, unlike some of the other kind of writing or reading that you do, you're going to actually read it 3 times. So the first time you're going to read through the article just once. The first time reading in the class that we'll probably read it together. It'll be probably taking turns. You read, I read, or whoever's reading is going to take turns. The second time through is kind of a read it to yourself. And the second time through, you're going to do your annotation marks. And then the final time, or your third time, you're going to read it together, kind of like the first time, and do any more annotations that you think of as you go through. I like to do the 3 times read just because the first time gives you the flavor, the second time you're finding something, and then the third time hearing somebody else read it, it sometimes helps you pick up a little bit more. When we do article of the week, we're probably going to find, I'm trying to look for things that are going to be of interest to you. I found this story about gun laws in Walmart. It says a quirk in Texas law forces Walmart to enforce gun laws in its stores. This was a rather interesting article, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to kind of walk you through how to annotate this article. I annotated my own copy, but I will show you as I annotate through this one, just so you get an idea of what it's like to annotate and kind of how annotation is supposed to kind of work. So I want you to pause the video and read through the article with whoever is with you. Take turns reading the article with someone so you kind of get a flavor of the article before we go through and annotate it. Now have your annotation sheet handy just so you kind of can look back when you're thinking it through and look at what you might possibly want to look at. Oopsie, that's not what I wanted to do. Alright, I'm going to have to finger it. Alright, let's take a look at the article. I'm going to annotate a little bit as I go, just like you would normally. Alright, reading the first paragraph. So I'm right here. Walmart managers in Texas have a new job, asking customers if they have a permit to carry a handgun. Ugh, that sounds scary. I wouldn't want to be that guy. To follow a new Texas law, Walmart Stores Incorporated sent written instructions last month to stores that sell alcohol. They told managers to make sure that customers who openly carry firearms have licenses. Cashiers or door greeters who see someone with a gun are to alert the highest-ranking manager. He or she must approach the customer and ask to see the permit. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. This sentence right here, I don't agree with that. I really don't think they pay them enough. To approach some guy with a gun and ask to see his permit, that sounds a little scary. Alright, moving on to the next paragraph. We do try to ensure that people have a licensed firearm, said Walmart spokesman Brian Nick. Walmart is one of the world's largest chain stores. We are giving direction to our store employees to ask for a license as our management sees appropriate. I really wonder what happens if they don't have a permit. Do you think they just like kick him out? Or, I don't know if I'd want to kick some guy out with a gun. I don't know. The notice was sent out because of the Texas's new open carry law, which just went into effect January 1st. Texas is the biggest state to allow citizens to carry handguns openly in a holster. I really wonder why people would want to open carry. I get concealed, but why would they want to open carry? Why does that matter? Businesses being forced to take sides. Sides? I wonder what sides. The law has posed a big problem for stores and restaurants. They are being forced to take sides in one of the nation's most emotional debates. Gun rights activists are refusing to shop at stores that forbid firearms. They say people should not be punished for exercising their constitutional rights to carry guns. The Second Amendment to the U.S. Constitution protects the right to own and carry guns. Gun control advocates, meanwhile, are avoiding stores that allow customers to bear arms, saying that no one should have to shop where they feel unsafe. I do really agree with the feeling safe. Or agree with not going where you feel unsafe. But are people feeling unsafe? Unsafe just because they see the gun? It really makes me think, is it the gun? Or that they see it? Would they be upset with concealed? Because you never know who has a concealed permit, especially even in our state. Stuck in the middle are the retailers who do not want to lose business from either side. Dozens of stores and restaurants across Texas have banned openly carried guns. Angry guns rights activists have vowed to shop elsewhere. Other stores have chosen not to ban firearms carried legally, inviting the scorn of gun control advocates who have promised to boycott. I'm going to read this last sentence again. Other stores have chosen not to ban firearms carried legally, inviting the scorn of gun control advocates who had promised a boycott of their own. Sounds like a no-win situation there. No win. Because if they ban them, they don't like it. If they don't ban them, they don't like it. Scrolling up, it causes a little shaking there. Walmart's position is unusual because its many stores sell beer and wine. I wonder what that has to do with it. Why is that an issue? The Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission prohibits unlicensed guns in places that sell liquor to go. A restaurant or store can lose its liquor license if it knowingly allows a person to bring an illegal firearm on the premises, said Chris Porter. He is a spokesman for the state commission. But how would they knowingly allow someone... Oops, I shouldn't circle that. That's the wrong mark. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna undo that. How would they knowingly allow something like that? Because if they don't check, do they really knowingly allow or unknowingly allow? That's kind of an odd law. So I'm putting a negative because I really don't agree with that. That's odd. Previously, a shopper could have been walking through the aisles with a concealed weapon, and store clerks would not have known. For the last 20 years, Texans were allowed to carry hidden weapons. Under the new law, stores must ask armed customers openly carrying a gun if they have a license. I'm just not understanding why people want to do open. Because they can still conceal and be okay. And no one bugs them. Companies don't want to anger either side. Some of the companies are trying to walk a fine line. They publicly oppose guns in their Texas stores, but they don't want to post signs saying that firearms are not allowed. The coffee giant Starbucks Corporation has asked that customers who are not law enforcement officers to refrain from bringing firearms into the store. Yeah, I agree with that. Who needs a gun with their coffee? It has not been it has not issued a ban, according to the spokesman Jamie Riley. Target Corporation has asked customers not to carry guns openly. However, Target had also not displayed the signs stopping them, said spokesman Molly Snyder. I'm not sure what this means. Stopping them from doing what? I'm going to circle that. We can talk about that later. That balancing act is not sitting well with gun control advocates. The Texas chapter of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America is taking action. It has begun targeting stores that have publicly opposed the open carry law but haven't displayed the official sign prohibiting it. I don't know what side they're on. Are they pro or are they anti-gun? And I'm talking about these guys. I wonder if they're pro or are against. Well, maybe we'll find out. The strongest statement a business can make for their customer safety and care is getting that sign up, said Alexander Chase. She is a spokesman for the chapter of Moms Demand Action. We still don't really know what side she's on. Walmart says it is still asking customers to show a gun permit only in Texas stores that sell alcohol. Walmart itself sells rifles and shotguns. The company says it will follow local, state, and federal laws, said Nick, gun activist troubled by Walmart's position. Still, its position has begun to trouble gun rights activists. I find it offensive, said C.J. Grisham, president of the gun right group Open Carry Texas. Grisham has heard from group members who shop at Walmart that they have been asked for permits. I don't want to be treated like a suspect in a place that I'm shopping at. I agree with that. I agree with that altogether. Who wants to be treated like a criminal? He's not breaking any laws. I'm still not getting why they can't conceal, though. I wonder what their purpose is. On Sunday night, 25-year-old Ashley Ravito de Rodriga walked into Walmart in Wichita Falls to buy pacifiers for her infant son and dog food. She wore her Barista Thunder .38 pistol on her hip. Oh, that's kind of scary. A mom with a gun on them. Hopefully it wasn't loaded. Almost immediately, she was approached by an employee. The worker said, "Ma'am, you're more than welcome to carry a gun like that, but I'm going to need to see your license." Oh, I made a comment in here, but I didn't. I hope it isn't loaded. Oops. I really wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to be that guy. Although startled, Bravo D. Rodriguez nonetheless pulled out her permit and began to shop. The whole time I felt like I was looking over my shoulder. She said, "To me, I'm lawfully carrying. I should not be stopped for something that I'm not doing wrong." I do think seeing a random person with a gun would make me nervous. Depending on how they carry it, right? I don't think a holster would bother me so much. So that's what annotating the article could look like. You might not have had the same thoughts as I did while you read, but I'm sure you thought things too. When you go through and annotate, you're basically writing down your thinking as you go through it. What I'd like to see when you annotate is about, I would say do at least 8 to 10 per article. I know I did a lot more in mine than what you would necessarily need. But I just kind of wrote what I thought. I wanted to make it kind of authentic. But if you have less than 8, you might, when you go through the second time, go through it and figure out some more places where you had some thoughts and just document your thoughts. Another sheet that you'll have with your article is this reading for meaning sheet. And what this is supposed to do, it says the purpose of this page is to hone in your ability to gather textual evidence to support and refute statements, and to focus your reading on some key points in the article. For some of the statements below, you need to circle whether the text agrees or disagrees, and in the space provided, share quotes, textual evidence, and support of agreement or disagreement. So in these, there's always going to be 3 of them. And you need to decide if the article supports it or not. And this first column, this first column is, does the article agree with it? This is the article. Not you, the article. And it gives you a statement. So does the article agree with the statement? Open carry laws get in the way of allowing Walmart to do business. So you need to decide, is that a yes statement or a no statement? And you need to circle one of them. And then you need to find actual evidence from the article to support this. I would be okay with you going, and if you circled a yes here, I don't know if that's right or not. I'm not going to say if it's right or not. But if you went through and then you circled yes, and then you took a highlighter color and colored here, if you highlighted in the article, then explained in the box, I think that would be appropriate. Highlight what you found in the article and explain in the box. There are 3 different ones, so each one would get a different color highlighter then. So number 2 would get a different color, and number 3 would get a different color. So that makes sense? And then at the end of some of the articles, you'll have a quiz that I would like you to do as well. Not all articles are going to have a quiz, and not all articles are going to have a reading for meaning page. Some of them I'll ask you to write me a short response. Basically, the point of these articles is getting you to read some nonfiction that is of your interest level and then have a conversation with the other person that's with you. Thanks.